Jed said this, and it was the most interesting thing he said, and he said it in a nice way, but when you really just read the words, it was like, this is such a condemnation of Brock. He said, Brock is a top 10 quarterback, ... pause, when combined with Kyle Shanahan and the things we have around here. So that means he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's only a top 10 quarterback within a very specific situation. And he mentioned Kyle Shanahan by name, and it sounded right. But then I couldn't help but remember that Kyle and Brock went 6-11 last year together. They did that. It was a joint project. So maybe it is Kyle. Maybe Kyle had a bad year. Who boosts Purdy the most? Is it the quarterback? Is it the head coach? Or is it Christian McCaffrey, the running back? Or is it both of them?
Before I answer that question, I do want to get into one thing first. What a crazy quote from Jed York. What a crazy quote. Who in their right mind says that their quarterback is only good because of the head coach? And then also on top of that, saying that right after they go 6-11.
Yes.
What, like, that is just absolute buffoonery right there. Like, that is a terrible quote by him. But anyway, back to the actual point, because that's just insane from York, but I shouldn't be surprised with him. I think the reality is when you have a quarterback in a system where they pretty much don't call audibles, they're only allowed like 2 audibles, and the head coach is very, very precise on sticking with the play calling, I think you got to give the credit to the head coach. This is where it gets interesting in Brock's case, though, is that a lot of times when Kyle's play doesn't work, because that does happen a little bit, more than a little bit, a lot of bit, he'll just give it to McCaffrey in a quick check down, and that'll typically work out, right? So I think you got to give them both credit, but the reality is it's probably 65-70 Kyle and then 30-35 to Christian McCaffrey. And that really comes down to Brock just being like, you know what, this ain't working, let's give it to him. So I feel like even then I give the credit to Brock more than McCaffrey.
I would say it's like 60-70% McCaffrey.
Whoa, okay.
Maybe I'm a hater. Because to me, ever since Kyle Shanahan lost Mike McDaniel, I feel like the Niners' offensive like creativity and play design hasn't quite been as good. Like, you watch the Dolphins, they're not a better team than the Niners because they're soft, but their offensive play design to me is more creative than the 49ers the last few years. And I think what's made Kyle so good at his best the last few years is his usage of McCaffrey. And is it that Kyle has invented new ways to use McCaffrey, or he's just committed to using him as much as possible in all the ways that he's demonstrated he can be used? I mean, I feel like his offense was sputtering a little bit in 2022. That was when they lost McDaniel. And instead of, having new wrinkles in the scheme, they traded for McCaffrey. And they used him a whole hell of a lot. I think Purdy really benefited from him. Clearly, it's nice having a really good running back. But the receiving element, the fact that he could just run a little choice route out of the backfield and get bracketed and get treated like he's the number one option in the passing game, not only helped Brock, I think it helped Ayuk. I think it helped Debo. I think it helped everyone. And I think it helped Jimmy for 4 games before Brock Purdy became the quarterback. I feel like a lot of quarterbacks could have had success with the ultimate check down option in those 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think if you put him on any team and you make him the starting back, I think the quarterback immediately improves just because of that ability to have him for check downs. And I think I do see your point, honestly, and maybe you're swaying my opinion here. It might be more of a 50-50 to me now, the way I'm looking at it.
Well, what Kyle would say is, well, hold on. The Carolina had McCaffrey, and they gave him the ball all the time, and they sucked on offense. So clearly I'm important. Something to that. That's true.
I mean, but if we're really talking about the Panthers, like what are we doing? The Panthers are the Panthers.
The Panthers had Christian McCaffrey and Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold and sucked on offense in general.
Yep. They were trash. I mean, they're the Panthers. Rough. They're the A's of the football world. They stink. They stink all the time. No one's really surprised by it. And when you have a team like that and they have this generational talent in Christian McCaffrey and you still aren't able to perform, it's just on the team. Like, what are you doing? And I think the Niners, when you get McCaffrey, Shanahan's like so excited, like, oh my God, we got the best weapon in the whole league right now. And maybe he decided, you know what, maybe we can worry less about the scheme and just work with him more and make him more of the offense, because he really is. Without McCaffrey, this offense isn't really much, to be completely frank. All you have at that point is you got Kittle and Ayuk, and that's it. It's literally
I mean, they have enough talent. I just feel like for whatever reason, Purdy needs that receiver out of the backfield. And, Drew Brees always benefited from, he had Reggie Bush at first. He had Darren Sproles. He had Alvin Kamara. It's always been a key element in the Sean Payton offense. And it was a key element in the Bill Walsh offense. So there's no shame in that. But I thought it was interesting last year. You had the best tight end, a wide receiver who's having a great season in Juwan Jennings, and Jordan Mason, who was really running well. And it wasn't enough. Like, Purdy was uncomfortable. He was holding the ball too long. He was really forcing it downfield. When he has that really good receiver out of the backfield, he makes good decisions. He's just a much better quarterback. So, and I feel like Kyle's a much better play caller. Maybe they both need a running back like that. Or it's not just a running back. It's a guy who can play running back, but also motion out to wide receiver and run some routes out there and really be a true dual threat player. That's what I think Brock and Kyle both need.
Yeah, that would help them so much if they could get another dual threat. Like, that would be huge. But then I think it just goes back to the main issue. Like, do you think that they're going to be willing to take a receiver early? And I don't think they're going to be willing to do that. I don't think they're going to be willing to get some sort of weapon on that team. I saw somebody just saying that maybe they go after Ashton Genty. They have already, the Raiders GM. If you look up this quote, look it up. It's a quote where he essentially says, we're guaranteed to get Ashton Genty because my son likes him. Like, that's essentially what he says. He's like, my son said he's leaving the family if we don't take Genty. So they're getting Genty before. I think the question is, who do the Niners even could get that could really change?
I'm glad you asked that question because I found him. I know it is.
Oh,
I figured it out.